Obviously, Pete Buttigieg's new poll shows that he's up 10 in New Hampshire now. And I told you before, if he just started doing what I recommended he do, then he would be able to go ahead and start building momentum. He did start doing that at the last debate. Now he's starting to get some momentum. He's considered the leader in Iowa now. And he's now considered by many to be a contender, serious contender, possibly the leader in New Hampshire. So one of the issues with Pete Buttigieg, and of course this scandal happened this week as well, on Monday, is that he has no black support at all. He just doesn't have any. There's various reasons for that we've explored and gone over, but Mayor Pete is struggling heavily with black voters in the United States. And so what he did is he put out this Douglas Plan for Black America, and in the Douglas Plan for Black America, he said he had 400 South Carolinian blacks who supported the plan. Turns out 42% of them were actually white, and a large chunk of them had never endorsed the plan whatsoever. The defense from the Buttigieg campaign is we didn't mislead anybody in spite of all of the calls that they were misleading people. It was that we gave them plenty of time to opt out, and they chose not to opt out of endorsing our plan. So they never opted into endorsing the plan. They just put their name on a list of people who did, and they had an opportunity to opt out of their endorsement of it, which is not how any of this works. But at a private fundraiser in the People's Republic of California on Friday, Pete Buttigieg suggested that black voters in South Carolina preferred former Vice President Joe Biden because of a perception of familiarity, even though Biden isn't the candidate with the best answers to the subject of race. Who is the candidate with the best answers on race? And who gets to determine that? Does the white guy running for president get to determine who has the best answers on race? Because, again, college campuses teach us that white guys are not allowed to have any opinions on that sort of thing. Asked by a guest in attendance at a meet and greet event in Thunderbird Heights in Rancho Mirage how he anticipated engaging the black community to get greater support, Buttigieg said, "So what's working for us best right now in engaging the black community is two things. First, attacking the police department." Oh, wait, he didn't say that. Sorry, that wasn't Pete Buttigieg. That was a Freudian slip. My apologies. So what's working for us best right now in engaging the black community is two things. First, substance. The second, engagement. So he didn't answer it. He didn't answer the question. It is what it is. Okay. Now, here's another thing. If you go to Vanity Fair wrote a pretty ugly headline about Pete Buttigieg. Literally zero support among black people in South Carolina. Yeah, that's true. Now, again, the polls don't mean a whole lot at this point, okay? But in South Carolina, there's no doubt that he is in big, big trouble. There's a large black population in South Carolina, and he has, again, zero support. I'm not exaggerating that. The polling shows zero. It's like less than 1%. So 2 polls within 4 days certified the mayor of South Bend, Indiana, our mayor, as the new frontrunner in Iowa, which is good news for the Buttigieg campaign coming less than 3 months before the caucuses. Even if the pool of undecideds remains large, there's a ton of folks who haven't made up their minds, according to Charlie Wishman, the Iowa labor union official. And he's right. And if you look at the polling, again, the polling may get more accurate the closer you get to the caucuses, but if he does well in Iowa, he'll have a little bit of momentum going into New Hampshire. And if he, has that momentum in New Hampshire and he does well in New Hampshire, then, that will help him. Doesn't mean he's going to win South Carolina. And like I said, Stephanie Grisham's got a very good point. President Trump polls a lot higher among black Americans than Pete Buttigieg does. But if Pete Buttigieg becomes the nominee, that will change. Now, again, Trump gets more black support than your typical Republican presidential candidate. But the likelihood that black America is going to go with the Republican in mainstream, in mass, is still very slim. So if Pete Buttigieg, who right now might as well have leprosy when you're looking at his connection with the black community, they just are not interested in being around him at all, then if he becomes the nominee, you will see a lot of them start to support him. So He's just got to get through all of this. We know that Kamala Harris is no longer a contender. She was assassinated by Tulsi Gabbard. And everybody's going to be gunning for him at this next debate. Everybody is. So it'd be interesting to see how he handles himself, because he typically doesn't handle himself in a fight too well. So if he gets into a dogfight, he's going to either win a lot of support or he's going to lose it, depending on how he handles himself. We've got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's News Channel.